All right, everybody, it's the Two Dudes podcast with Rick and Kevin. That's Kevin, I'm Rick. We got another one here for you today. Kev, this is going to be a strange one for a couple of reasons. As we wind the NFL season down, because you know, me and you, we sports junkies, uh, it's a lot to digest with 4 games left in the season and a lot of heartbreak. Um, and as you and me talked this morning, I'm going to talk about some more personal stuff today that I don't usually talk about, but it's some stuff that needs to be addressed, so we're going to put it on out there. First things first, Kev, you know, what we usually do to, kick off the show, I like to get at you and talk about where you at as far as employment and how the health situation is for you, because I know you got that bike, that badass bike, by the way. I want to know how that's been going for you, and talk to me about the job situation. You told me to remind you of something to tell you about Aerotech.
Okay. Yeah, bike wise, got lucky. Homie Ryan, shout out, appreciate the love. 2 basically $300+ bikes, $200 on Facebook Marketplace. You never know what you can find on the marketplace. I found a friend to go in half. We basically paid $100 and got something on Amazon right now, 300+ easy, down there 400 easy. I've somewhat played around with it. About to make a routine to it. I need to go on YouTube, find like a class or something that somebody filmed to just ride with that. You know, kind of get you want to get something where you're just not riding to be riding. You know.
Right.
So I'm trying to find that. Haven't came across that yet, but hopefully at some point I will. But yeah, that's that. Trust me, y'all. It's everybody that's seen the bike is pretty sick that they didn't get a chance to make that come up. I'm pretty sure I know if Richard would have been living here, he would have had that 100 to get the other bike. I'm sure about that without a doubt. Because it's definitely you seen it, you can't go wrong with it. It was definitely a win. Employment wise, so this was crazy. So last week, interviewed with a cancer center, doing what we used to do with the Q, and they I looked Thursday night, like 12 hours after the fact, they went on my LinkedIn page looking at that, which I've never had anybody do that before. So I was thinking I've never paid LinkedIn any attention like I'm doing now. So I was just like, okay, that's different. Then the next day, get an email, it was like, reapply for the position under this serial number because things have changed. We just implemented some new rules or whatever. So I do that and I got a denial. I was like, what the fuck? Y'all just told me. But it was under the old one. So I redid, under the new one or whatever. So waiting to hear back on that. Then yesterday, get a phone call from Aerotech. A lady was calling about a position with our good old down the street Christmas light rival.
Ah, okay.
Good VA, but now they go by Alta Science or whatever. I guess that's the name of the group that does the studies, however you want to put it. And
I didn't know they changed names.
Yeah, it just happened like this year, I want to say. And they're looking for something like what I tried to get with research, I want to say. And so the lady was like, well, all right, I'll submit you, see what they say, and you got your references, right? Like, yeah, if you need them, I got them. I told you about last time reference or whatever. And next thing I know, I'm talking to Ambrosia, who used to be, one of the ones who worked up under you in CES or whatever, or VSP, how you want to put it, VPS, where the fuck it was. They, she was like, Christina, I think her last name is Woolworth or whatever, I think. So you probably remember her or whatever. She was like, Aerotech just hit her up asking about me. So Aerotech then went on my LinkedIn, look, see who I'm connected to from the Q days, and just started hitting people up. Now, she had you still when I gave references for the last gig where the lady said I was too, she said I was too laid back on the interview, the phone interview.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you kind of all over the place. I'm going to need you to just take a deep one and figure out what you about to search or whatever. And so then, luckily, Christina hit up Ambrosia because this motherfucker was about to reach out to Janice to ask about me.
Wow.
And Ambrosia was like, no, tell him to ask, look, reach out to Brad. Brad will be able to, Brad will get the truth. Janice will be on that bullshit. I was like, yeah, she be on that bullshit. I didn't need that bullshit, because that motherfucker was mad that I felt a day short of a 2-week notice. If I find out on Monday about a job that starts in 2 weeks from that Monday, I can't give you a full 2 weeks. I didn't get called and get offered a position till end of the day Monday. So I gave first thing Tuesday, boom, here it go, and just go from there. Just on some ridiculous type shit that she was on when I left. But the lady called today, called like 9:30 this morning, and I have a phone interview with a VA tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
She just emailed me what position it was for because I ain't know the position. She wasn't even sure the position. I was like, hey, whatever, let's make it happen. So something's coming. Something's coming down the pipe. It's between those two, something's coming, As they say, change go come, better day, all that shit. Something about to mix together and turn into a job.
Like always, we're going to be praying for you, hoping, wishing, lucky rabbit's foot, 4-leaf clover, all that good stuff for you.
Man, Lucky Charms like a motherfucker.
Okay, so I've just got 2 random things I want to pass by you because I was stirring the internet earlier in the news. They closer and closer to having that coronavirus vaccine. It's coming out in several parts of the world. And I know we had touched on it a couple shows ago. And we had asked, would you take it? Now, if your job asked you to, would you take it?
And see, that's where I'm torn at because I'm knowing working part-time for a hospital and someone involved, they say right now it's voluntary. How long do you think that gonna last before it's mandatory?
Because of the death toll from this disease, I'm gonna say not long at all.
So I have to ask myself what I want to do. Because I already did the flu shot, I've done that the past 2-3 years. Didn't care for it, but had to do it.
Right.
And now I got to take this that is unknown. And honestly, I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I really don't know. And so it's going to be it's going to come down to, do you want to keep this job or do you want to walk away from it? So I got to really think about it. And I mean, like, I work it 4 days a month. So it's like, I make extra $400. It wouldn't kill me if I walked away from it because not like it's, changing the game, but it's money, So it's one of the things where I just got to ask myself, do I really want to deal with it? Do I don't? And I keep going back and forth like a 60-40 if I want to do it or not.
I'm going to tell you from my standpoint, if that happened to me on my job, timing is everything. And I want to see at the very least 6 months to a year from this vaccine coming out. Because I want to hear about these side effects. Because as well as I do, because we've been in the vaccination and medication game for a long, long time.
Yeah, we've been in a CRR world for a minute.
Yeah. And there is always a side effect. And if you look on TV nowadays, there is a commercial almost every hour from some medication that you either can't pronounce or never heard of before. And at the very end of that medication, sometimes even in the middle of that commercial, they talk about all the side effects. And some of them are worse than the damn disease or condition. So, yeah. And I know that I've talked to Heather about this, and I joke a lot because, I'm the movie guy. But last time I checked, ain't this how the T virus started?
All this shit going on right now just makes me think of that movie Contagion. This makes me think of Contagion and World War Z.
The first thing I think about is Resident Evil and any zombie movie for that matter. I Am Legend. I think that started with the cure for cancer. That didn't go so well for everybody. So
yeah.
All right, so The second thing that I saw, they're getting closer and closer to another stimulus check. And I know we touched on that many moons ago, but I'm not going to lie. If we were able to get another one, I would say yes to it. I'd take it. Would you take it?
You know, you got no choice but to take it. I'm going to take it, but do I want it? No, and this comes from a nigga without a job. I really don't want it. So if I get it, I might just break that bitch in half and open up an account for my daughters, like it just said. I really personally don't want it. Not gonna say I don't need it, because I could always use it. Like I said, right now, thanks to all this BS with unemployment, I have no income whatsoever coming in. So I could use it, but I don't want it. I don't want it. It's not gonna help us in the long run, and people fail to realize that. Although there are other countries, I think like Canada got something to where they're sending somebody send people $1,200 a month every month since all this has been going on. Like, it can be figured out, but we so money hungry and don't want to fall too far off the pedestal to where we refuse to do what's best.
Right.
It's like, oh, you telling me we can get the country rolling and we'll go from 32 to 31? Oh, I can't fall that far. I can't do that. You would have said I'd have been like 31.9 and be a step away from 32, then I could do it. But I can't just go all the way down to 31.0. That's that mentality, and that's stupid. I was like, I'm good. I just like a lot of these jobs now. You knew a certain position didn't need 5 people, but you hire people in excess because of potential business. Then people come work, get accustomed to that lifestyle, and business don't come in, and you ain't bothered to cross-train, do nothing. You just, okay, trim the fat, just cut them off. As if people are nobody. And that's what's about to happen. Everybody who needs this money, because we was back in the 80s, we'd be considered middle class because we make decent wages. Now we're considered poor. We're still poverty or whatever, even though we both make decent, well, I don't, but you make decent wages or whatever, which is crazy. And so you're going to keep giving all these poor motherfuckers these checks. They're going to become self-reliant, not going to get a job, keep fucking up unemployment for people like me who actually need it, who's trying to find a fucking job. It's like we keep repeating the same dumbest cycles to where it literally makes no fucking sense at all.
Speaking of, because I know you mentioned lifestyle. Lifestyles in the hood have changed. Gangs are now stealing PS5s off of the trucks. They are going full on the Italian job. I read this today. I mean, they like, fuck drugs, fuck guns. We stealing PS5s. So my question to you is, hey, do you know a blood or a crip that can hook me up?
You know what? I can't even laugh and joke about that after Christina got her house hit. I can't even joke. When some fat motherfucker literally walked up on her doorstep and took her packages that was for getting donated to less fortunate kids.
Oh, you talking about Katrina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That was sad.
Yeah, I can't joke about it because that literally happened a block, because she stays a block away from me. And the motherfucker took the packages and he took the motherfucking treats that she had laid out for just delivery people.
Yeah.
How little are you to do that when you don't even know what the fuck's in there? You just grabbing shit to grab it.
Okay, now that is very petty.
Diapers.
First things first. Shout out to Katrina. We hope that they get that dude. And
she put it on all the news site, Facebook pages, and she filed a police report.
Her door had the picture of him.
Yeah, she got the Simply Sure alarm or whatever.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they
look for them.
But these gangs, they are getting them off the trucks. They are getting them straight off the trucks before they get delivered.
That's smart. But it's just like that's why I tell people never try to get in the first group. Wait until the turn of the year when it all dies down, because you got a lot of ignorant shit that happens. Remember, we have people robbing trains for Jordans. So it's just, You know, this ain't no better because I literally got a friend whose son Sunday got 3 PS5. Went to Gardner, Kansas, Independence. He had an app that tells him who got what and where. I can send you the app. You can keep track of shit like that. And he had 3 of them. My best friend wants to get one for her son. But she said, all right, I'm not paying an escalated price. I'll give him back what he paid. So I'm like, all right, you know, let me see, you know, because if I can trade and I get my money right back, it's still a sale regardless.
Right.
You gonna come back again with something else possibly, or you gonna tell somebody else and I get them. He didn't want to do it. Talking about he got lights, he got to keep lights on. Motherfucker, you stay at home with your mama. You ain't got shit to keep on. But my whole thing is this: you keep buying and selling, you're really not turning a profit. Okay, you sell one for $300 more. Then you turn around and you go buy another one. What, you know what I'm saying? Just like you keeping the charade going, but you're not winning. You just getting a little bump above average. Now, if you had 10 and you sold all 10 and you stopped and you made $300 off each one, that's the profit right there and you're done. But if you keep buying and selling, at some point you just go break even.
Your analogy when you said the Jordans off the train, that's leading me to my dumbass of the week. And it's not a person this week. It's a corporation. Nike Incorporated. They pissed me off again. Okay, you remember when we was talking about a month ago or so, how I wanted a specific running shoe, and they said it'll be out on such and such a day. That morning I went online to get it and it sold out. Bro, I got all the way up to the point where I entered my credit card information in, and then it said, sorry, this product is now no longer available.
Really?
Yeah. I get that, limited quantities and everything, but now they done took it to a whole new level. I don't know if you remember, probably back in April, I was telling you that I wanted that Air Max up tempo. You remember the shoe that had the big air across the side of it?
Yeah, I remember that. And
it said it'll be available holiday 2020. They're going, it's a retro. So I'm like looking to see every week, when is this shoe coming out? And lo and behold, they never released anything. It's not on their website. And all of a sudden I see these reviews from YouTubers, from like Sneaks Online or Kicks and whatever, talking about how they love their new Air Max up tempo. And I'm like, what? And I'm reading everything, and I come to find out that they just dropped them without saying anything. So if you were one of those lucky people that were in the store, because you couldn't get it online, if you're one of the people that was lucky enough to be like at a Foot Action that day, or at a Foot Locker or a Champs, you got it. Nobody else did. So I am pissed to the highest of pistivity, because I don't wear a lot of basketball shoes, especially ones that aren't Jordans. But that shoe I wanted, because I wanted that shoe back in the day, back in '96 when Pippen originally wore them, and I never got it. And here it is again.
Now, the thing is, what you fail to realize, because you know you're a little older, I can see it in your beard. The reason why you didn't get the shoe is because of the culture. The sneaker culture, it went from the size of a penny to now it's the size of a motherfucking cake. You know, went from that to like that. And I had to advertise because enough motherfuckers is looking. They're gonna know because they're online, they're on all the blogs, they're everywhere. You know, magically someone leaks a picture and next thing you know, it's all over the internet. Since you're not, me and you, we're not in that culture to know what's going on. Like when I got my Dame Lillards, I didn't know shit about it. My little brother was like, man, since Dame got a new pair of shoes coming out and he's killing in the bubble, he dropped 62 last night. Adidas put all his shoes on sale for $62 for the next 24 hours. I was like, what? Quickly went to the website, found a pair I liked, $62, $150 pair of shoes. Couldn't pass that. If you're not in that culture, you for real not gonna know when shit drop. Like a lot of them, you know, when it comes to the Jordans, I know somebody can tell you the next Jordan's dropping the next 2-3 years.
But
because
you know
they're in
what,
that
though?
culture, they're in that
I'll say
world.
this. I've got the sneakers app now, and I can see when Jordans are dropping. They didn't even put the Air Max Up Tempo on there. That's what pissed me off.
I guarantee you there's a group, because Air Max is still huge. My homie Marshall, I think last year he wore like 5 pair of Air Maxes. I'm looking at him like, Air Maxes, my nigga? And he wanted some motherfucking Air Max. They are still big. There's still a following for Air Maxes. Air Maxes, Jordans, and the Cortezes are finally falling off, but Air Force Ones, them motherfuckers are still big within Nike culture, shoe culture, period. So it's like, if you want some of them, you got to find the right avenue to know the pipeline. Otherwise, you shit out of luck. Or what you got to do, you got to go old school, know a nigga that work at the shoe store to let you know the plug what's going on. See, this is where you still need connection at your old gig.
I need connection some kind of way because I am on the hunt now for a size 13 pair. So let me put it out there right now.
And that's another thing. You wear Bigfoot like me, so they only get like 2-3 pair.
Now, I will say this, because I worked not too long ago as the manager at Hibbett Sports. It ain't even that. It's 1 pair. And I learned this firsthand from being the manager there. You get a big, huge box of a certain type of shoe. You will get 2 or 3 8s, 2 or 3 9s.
Oh, you already know what's coming in the box?
Yeah, you get 2 of everything, except after the 11s. The 12s, the 13s, and the 14s, there's only 1 in each box. So once it's gone, it's gone.
Then you can't order more?
You can order more, but it's so hard to order. There's 2 ways you can get it. You can call another store and say, hey, you want to trade me this for that? Because you have to trade inventory. That way your records aren't skewed. And 9 times out of 10, if it's a popular shoe, that manager won't do it because they know they can sell it too. And they want their numbers to rise. You can call the manufacturer direct. And here's the thing. They will always tell you no because they've got so many stores calling them asking for something that they can't just distribute 1 or 2 shoes out to every store across the country. For the shoe game, for example, Nike. I'll just use Nike as an example since we're talking about them. If the Jordan 30s are popular and everybody wants a Jordan 30, Nike makes a deal with like Hibbett Sports, Foot Locker, whatever. Hey, we'll send you a case of Jordan 30s, but on one condition. You got to take these old ass Air Max, whatever, or these Air Jump trainers or whatever. They get you to take 2 or 3 ugly shoes for every style that you want. That way they can unload stuff that they manufacture all the time. That's how the shoe game works in retail. And that's why when you go to certain stores, they'll have it or they won't, or they'll have all kind of ugly shoes and just that one that you like because they make all kind of stuff. And you know, what's ugly to me, you may not be ugly to anybody else, but I'm just using it as an example. You got to take these 3 that you don't care about in order to get this case that you want. And it's an unfortunate side effect. And when you think about it, just in Kansas City alone, just in your spot, there's probably 100 shoe stores, and I'm going real low. 100.
Easy.
That's just in Kansas City alone. And you know, Nike's got to distribute all across the country, so they are not going to say, yeah, we'll send you extra this or that. So you got to get it from somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'll put it out there again for everybody listening to the podcast. Look a brother up. Nike Air Max Up Tempo, black with the white trim, size 13. This is the perfect time to plug our show. Send me an email, the2dudespodcast@yahoo.com. Hell, y'all know the number. Catch me there. Catch me on our social media outlets. And while you're watching this show, please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment on the show. Let's beat that YouTube algorithm. And hit that bell for notifications. We got something new dropping every Thursday. All right.
Your best bet is to be on Nike's website. You stay on their website.
Well, see, that's the thing. I was on their website for the Air Max Up Tempo. Never released anything. No information at all on that. I was pissed. See, because
I will go back on and see if they listed on there now.
Oh, I will continue to. I was on there yesterday and it was not on there. So I'll continue to in case they make some more. Because that's another thing they'll do. They'll release stuff in limited quantities. And then depending on supply and demand, they'll make some more. But a lot of times what Nike will do, they'll make some more, but they'll put it in an ugly colorway that we don't want. I don't
Well, I
want
mean,
anything.
it can't be no uglier than black and silver, so, you know.
Sorry. Funny you should mention that because we go into the NFL right quick. I'm going to talk about 4 teams. 3 got lucky, 1 didn't. The Chiefs went down to the wire against the Broncos. I don't know why that happened because those 2 teams are vastly different.
I'm tired of answering this dumbass question. Like I told my homie on Sunday night, what are the Broncos? A rival. A rival to what? Division. What do division rivals mean to the record books? Not a motherfucking thing. So what happens? You fight to the very end consistently. Next question.
Okay. That's 1 team. The Raiders and the Jets. I love my Raiders, but I'm going to be honest. We had no business winning that game.
We whooped the Jets' ass.
We had no business winning that game.
Yeah.
It took the defensive coordinator calling an all-out blitz on the final play of the game. And by the way, if you know your opponent needs a touchdown, not a field goal, a touchdown, why would you blitz the house?
Well, see, that's the thing, though. You're looking at it wrong. First off, y'all play to the level of y'all opponent. You're looking forward to. You looked at your next week's opponent instead of focusing on them. Second, how you think Greg Williams didn't just want to be fired? You're already going to be attached to this defense. Think about it. The team's already 0-13 or whatever. You're already attached to the defense. You're probably tired of dealing with it. Throw yourself on the fire. Hey, we about to call it all zero. Motherfucking coach, like he didn't get a chance to object to that and call something different. How could you not? You got a headset on. You hearing what's being said. You just know he was ready to jump ship. So what he do? He jumped ship, and he knew he was going to get fired.
Here's the thing, though, and I heard this on the Pat McAfee show this morning, as a matter of fact. They were talking to a couple defensive players. AJ was one of them in particular. And they know when whoever the captain of the defense is gets that call on the headset, they can veto that call. So I'm wondering why the defensive captain didn't say, "Oh hell no, we ain't doing that. We playing prevent." So
at the same time, the Jets got a young defense, so I don't think he had confidence to challenge the call. You got to think about it. I've been in the league 3 years. He's been a head coach, defensive coordinator for 27. Are you gonna question, or are you just gonna do the play?
If I'm going up against Henry Ruggs and I got a 2nd-year corner, yeah, I'm gonna question it.
This is the thing, though. You don't. It could have been another receiver out there. It's just you're not gonna question it when experience is such a wide gap. You just okay, coach, I got you. Now, the one thing I will say that I keep seeing, Gruden needs to break the habit that y'all quarterback has of jumping when he's throwing at the end of these games. Because, again, he stepped into the pocket and jumped in through it. If that corner hadn't a bit on that half over stutter step, that was easily an interception or a knockdown. But he bit on what was a weak little – I was like, really, you bit on that? That was horrible. He bit on that, and that gave the separation that was needed for the touchdown. You know, it only takes so much space or whatever. But if Carr don't stop jumping when he throws, y'all will have problems. But at the same time, I think that's that nervousness of him, game on the line, you know your record, you know you need that win. He has to get used to that pressure. I'm hoping at some point he gets used to it and calms down, because otherwise he's going to keep doing that, and more likely than not, it's going to be more of a cheap outcome where it's going to be an interception versus being a touchdown.
True. Now, that third team that I want to talk about, vastly different. It was the Vikings and the Jaguars. It should have never went to overtime. The Vikings should have had this game won from the start, but they didn't. It took a field goal to win it in overtime.
Well, the Vikings' offense has been inconsistent, and defense has been null and void. So that's no surprise at all. Jaguars have been looking good because who they got at quarterback. All of a sudden, and Tampa said, "Oh boy, was a damn good quarterback." Gave him all that money, be the backup, hoping he'd be the starter. But then they switched coaches and gave up on it. But I forgot his fucking name. I can see the white boy in my head. But the past 2 weeks for Jacksonville, he been balling. I see why Tampa gave him so much money. He's been balling. He's gonna fuck around and take Minshew's job.
Now that fourth team wasn't so lucky. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you talked about it earlier. Pittsburgh ain't really played nobody. So yeah, they were 11-0. Haha, great for you. But you ain't really played nobody. They ran into the Washington football team, quarterbacked by Kansas City's former quarterback, Alex Smith. And like I said, earlier in the season, the Chiefs gave Alex Smith a ring for all his years of service with Kansas City. Alex decided
we don't know that. He's assuming, y'all. We don't know that. We don't. Alex should have got something. We don't know. I mean, with that, Pittsburgh ain't played nobody, and it's all about, can you take the punch in the mouth? Washington took the punches Pittsburgh threw. They didn't break. They kept coming. The problem was Pittsburgh's mindset was like, y'all supposed to be done. Why y'all still playing? We got this. And Washington was like, nah, we ain't done. Y'all ain't got nothing. Because Alex is hungry. Alex don't want to end his career on an injury. He don't want to end his career on a losing team. Alex wants to walk out. He wants to walk onto the sunset. Good team, good season, He wants to leave better than he came in. Just came in the game with the 49ers. That shit was a train wreck till Harbaugh got there. So that's what it boils down to. And Alex, his heart is so big right now, he could will Stevie Wonder to see. Open your eyes, Stevie, see the world. And it'll probably happen. We had 17 30s in one leg. You got powers.
So check it out. Staying with football, let's talk fantasy for a second, bro. It's over. Let's talk fantasy.
Okay, yeah.
The season is over, the regular season. Now we're going to the postseason. Me and you finished both 6-7, with a difference. And this is why I guess they say every game counts. Earlier in the season, I did beat you. And that went to strength of schedule. So although we're both 6-7, you missed the playoffs by that much, just that much. And I fell into the playoffs. I needed a couple things to happen to get in, and I was fortunate, blessed that they did happen. Not only did I win, I beat the number one ranked team. I had a team that by all rights should have won, didn't win, and they ended up with the same loss total as me, and they ended up out of the playoffs. So I got lucky. And that tie did come back to bite them, because even though they had the same losses as me, if they had the same wins as me, they would have got in over me, but they didn't have as many wins because that tie came back to hurt them.
Yeah.
So I got lucky there. I'm not even gonna front. But it's been a good season. It's been a great season, but I got some unfinished business. I got some work to do. And, when I look back, whatever it was a couple days ago, and saw that Herb had got in with the 6-7 record in 2018, ran the table and won the title, man, that gave me hope. So I really want to win real bad this year. So let's hope that happens.
I don't give a fuck. That's all I got to say.
Okay. So let's talk about Pick'em Pool then. Bro. We were there.
I forgot. The NFL is their fault. They should have never took away that Thursday game. I wouldn't have forgot. So because of that, I done fell to 17. So because of that, my response is, fuck Pick'em too.
But check this out. Although you were in 17th place, you have 111 victories, 79 defeats. 111 victories. The number one team has 126.
Man,
15
like that.
down.
What's so dumb about it? I'd rather I didn't do picks. I can understand you can't do the 12 o'clock games. I should have still been able to pick the afternoon and the evening, the Monday night and Tuesday night game. That was kind of asinine that I couldn't do those. So I could have got all those right, and I could have been like at 120 wins or something. You know, it was kind of asinine. So because of that, fuck picks. Hope all you motherfuckers lose. Then I'm at the top. Be like, see, told y'all.
But this is the beautiful thing about it. I'm hovering. I'm in 5th place, and I have 123 wins. 5th place. That sounds like that's a lot, but the first place team has 126 wins. I'm only 3 games back. So with 4 weeks to go and only 3 games back, anything can happen. And it's weird that I saw that. First place has 126 wins. Second and third are tied with 125. The 4th place team has 124, and I'm sitting at 5 with 123. So if I can just creep up 1 or 2 spots every week for the next 4 weeks, I'll be content with that. So we're going to see what happens. Now, switching gears from sports real quick, I just want to touch on this because you said that you got my message today, my voicemail, when you had called. How'd you like that?
Your voicemail, it caught me off guard. I was like, man, that's funny as hell. And I was like, oh shit, that was a real voicemail. I was like, this motherfucker right here.
You thought I was playing?
That shit was funny.
No, that wasn't me. The reason why I did that is because, you know, I hate getting calls from people and they don't leave a message and they expect me to call them back. You know, I've heard people say, hey, Rick, I called you the day, but you didn't call me back. You didn't leave me no message. I don't know what you want. I ain't going to call you back. And, you know, that started as a joke, but then it got for real because that kept mounting. It's like, if you want me to holler back at you, at least just say, hey, holler back at me. And I will. But if I just see missed call, I might call you back. I might not.
Unless these last like 10 minutes, let's just go on some left type shit. So I'm gonna hit you with this. You tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
I think I might have versed it to you how I felt. Scottie Pippen, good old Scotty. When we talking about the shoes you wanted, let Jordan know that he felt some kind of way about The Last Dance. Said he felt like Jordan wanted to make people in awe and just worship him. How do you feel about Scotty's statement? He said he don't like how he was depicted in The Last Dance.
Okay, let me go reverse on that because shameless plug. I have a YouTube series that's starting next week, and the first episode is The Last Dance, where I review different Blu-rays and DVDs and certain music. I've watched The Last Dance now a couple times, and entering the bonus features and everything, I didn't see anything that wasn't true. So I'll say that about Scotty. And Jordan did mention that he wouldn't play with anybody else because of what Scotty brought to the table. Now, if the GOAT says that about you, then that's the highest esteem of highs. I mean, what more do you want, Scotty? If the GOAT says that you are the second greatest player in the National Basketball Association, what is it? I mean, yeah, he had the back issues. He was pissed because of how much he was getting paid and everything. And the producers more or less put Scotty in a certain light more than Jordan did. The way they portrayed him about when he wanted to not show up for the start of camp and to the start of the season because he waited to get that ankle surgery. So Scotty's very much in the wrong there. And he's directing his anger to the wrong person. MJ didn't say anything that wasn't true, that we didn't see for ourselves, that we didn't even already know. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I guess I can somewhat agree with you on that. The way I look at it, Scotty's been a bitch. Soon as the ex-wife giving you bad publicity, so you're trying to get publicity in other ways to get people off of that. Scotty married a hoe. He had a kid with her. She gonna keep doing hoe tendencies. You got to take that L because she's never gonna drop the last name Pippin because why? It's a known name. You motherfuckers money to realize, leave these bitches in the strip club. Don't take them out because, like they say, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Not saying all them bitches is hoes, but bitches know bitches and hoes know hoes. So just leave them alone. Well, you know, that's just my thought on that. Let me see what else done happened. Shit. Oh, okay, another one. Your boy, I told you I can't co-host with you anymore. How can you have not been Mr. Movie Guy, not seen was everything done fallen and came down and went back up? How have you not seen any of them damn movies?
Oh, you're talking about Angel Has Fallen, This Is Fallen, That Is Fallen?
Yeah.
For starters, dude that plays the lead role, he's not on my top 10 list of favorite actors. I mean, that's not a negative toward him or anything like that.
He does a good job.
It seems like every time he's had one of those movies come out, there's been 2 or 3 better movies that have been out, so I'd rather watch them.
But you're a movie guy. You're supposed to, anything that keeps having sequels, you're supposed to have that. The first one's a classic for sure. Second one isn't bad. Third one,
Now, I will say this. I will get to them. But out of sight, out of mind is the way it's actually been. When you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I haven't seen any of those movies. Not that they're bad, not that he's a bad actor. It just ain't been in my mind and hasn't been on the top of my list. But I will get to it.
Sad.
I know.
Sad. This comes from the movie guy. I can't believe this.
Yeah, Olympus has fallen, Angel has fallen, something else done fell, and then
it's a bunch of shit done fell.
Something getting ready to fall again.
Crockpot done fell. Mama done fell out the kitchen. There's a whole bunch of shit that just done fell that's happening in these movies. Okay, next, I was listening to Jamel Hill's podcast Unbothered, and she was talking to Leslie Jones. And Leslie was saying on the set of Coming to America, it took everybody a minute to kind of snap out of the I'm working with Eddie Murphy trance. Do you think that may be a problem in the movie? If people are so like, oh my God, that's Eddie, to where they're not doing, because you've made a couple small films. Is that a problem, or is that something that people just when they see him is like, then they snap out of it? Because she claims
I've heard this from several actors and actresses about stars that they played with. Oh my God, this has been an idol of mine, and I get to be in a movie with them. I don't think that it's a problem per se, because actors are kind of like athletes. When you're around a good actor, it'll raise your game. And, even though some of my stuff has been, small, ticky-tack, little budget stuff right now to this point, in those things, let's say I'm working with like 7 or 8 different people. You always see that one that's got that good-ass talent. And you always see that one that's like, why are you here? But when they start to work together, you see the one that maybe doesn't have as much talent as the person who does. They feed off of each other, and it kind of raises their talent level. And they try to work harder, they work smarter, and they try to do things the way they see that person across from them doing it. And you see that working, and you're like, okay, this is going to work. And it does to some extent. It shouldn't be a problem with Coming to America, especially for a major motion picture like that. You're filming for, anywhere from 1 to 3 months, doing all the filming. At some point, you should be used to seeing Eddie every day. So let that go. You're a professional. You get paid just like everybody else. Let your star shine.
Now she claims that the Eddie just let the comedians just go and said that the movie is just so damn funny people ain't gonna be ready for it. And I mean, and like she didn't oversell it, but she sold it like the right amount of distance. So this didn't pull my anticipation that much more, but this kind of made me be like, okay, now I got to make sure on the first day I see it. So it's kind of
on that kind of thing though.
She didn't make it overflow, but she kept the anticipation at the top of the bowl, to where you just wait just to be like, what's it gonna be? You know, just so she did a good sales job.
Yeah, I'm sure she did, but I've seen enough actors in these kind of movies, or any kind of movie. Their job is to sell the movie that they were in, and I've seen two things happen. They'll say what a great movie it is because that's what they're paid to do, and it turns out not to be such a great movie.
Yeah.
Or they'll sell it and not necessarily oversell it, but how do I put this? Okay, the best way I can say it is I've seen actors that hated the role that they portrayed in, and they were paid to sell it, even though they didn't like it. So she might fall in that category, or she might have actually really loved it, and she's trying to put it out there and say, this is going to be great. Can't wait for you to see it. Either way, it's based on their experience from what they were doing. And I'm of the mind, huh?
I think it's going to set records regardless.
Well, I'm of the mind that I think she's right. I think she really enjoyed herself on the set, and it's really going to be a great movie. But at the same time, a lot of these actors and actresses, they don't see the finished edited product until we do. So they don't really know how good it is. So they shouldn't be the ones saying how good it is.
Yeah, because she didn't mention seeing a screening or anything. So you got a point on that. She didn't say nothing about a screening. So she probably ain't seen it.
Yeah. So she's familiar with what parts she did. She's familiar with being around the set. So a lot of it is, you know, I enjoyed myself on the set, so this is going to be a good movie. Think about that sentence. That's two different things. You enjoyed yourself on the set. This is going to be a good movie. Those may not be one and the same.
You're right about that.
And a lot of the jokes, you laughing because somebody joked around, and then they yell action and they say something, and you still smiling because of what they just said. The joke in the movie may not be as funny as the joke that was told before or after the take. Just putting it out there.
I ain't think about it like that.
Being behind the camera for a lot of times.
Thank you, motherfucker. Thank you, just fucking it off. Go watch some damn shit.
I've been behind the camera my fair share of times, so you know we've had a good time. We joked around when I filmed a horror movie, so you know it was fun. But I'm not gonna say you're gonna have fun watching this movie. You should be scared watching the movie. Two different things.
Oh, I just saw before I got on here, in the city of KC, the mayor has announced the release date for when the airport is supposed to be finished, which I'm so not liking this at all. It's not going to be ready till March 3rd of 2023.
Are y'all still gonna have to go around in circles to get to a terminal?
I don't know, but he said the date of it being open and what he got told is March 3rd of 2023. So basically, we got 2 more years of this ass backwardness. Which surprisingly, granted, I haven't flown anywhere since all this happened. It hasn't been. I've been to the airport 2 or 3 times recently, picked up people with no problem. But literally, Terminal B has 2 airlines in it. Everything else is in Terminal C. And I've been lucky to go mid after about 3 o'clock and midnight. So I've been lucky to go at those times. I would hate to go during the day or early evening when it's probably that much more traffic.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and the other thing I remember about Kansas City's airport that I did not necessarily like, in addition to having to go around and around to get to a terminal, it's too damn far away from the city. I've never understood that. I mean,
most airports are a distance away. I'd rather be a distance away to be in the city. I kind of like that.
bro, LAX is in LA.
I mean, who's
If I touch down in Denver, I'm in Denver. JFK is in New York. I have not seen an airport that is that far away.
Chicago, there's a kind of spaced out. Houston's definitely are. Houston, theirs is kind of out there. Especially when I flew in, it took like an hour to get there from my brothers. But at the same time, he was on the other side of Houston from what I learned after the fact. I mean, it's preference. But I get what you're saying, but I personally like it. I don't want that. I got to deal with enough traffic as it is. Last thing I need is the airport traffic to be somewhere involved and fucking up this, that, and the third. And besides, you know, if you got your jet life living, you got the downtown airport. You know, it's all about you, you know. You coming in like the Princess Zamunda, you good, you know. You coming in like a broke nigga, hey, you got to travel a little bit. So, you know, hey, you make the choice.
I might choose to just take the cab, the bus, the train, something like that.
I learned Uber is about $65 from the airport to Grandview.
All right, everybody, we appreciate y'all listening, and please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and leave us a damn comment. And we will see you again next week. As always, stay positive, stay blessed. Kevin, take us on home.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Hustlers and fantasy team didn't make playoffs. Fuck football. Fuck staying home with the Chiefs right now. Fuck all that. Go read a book, you lazy motherfuckers. Do something educational. I ain't got shit else to say. Holler at your boy, but don't yell.